In today's episode of Project Sacrifice, we make diamonds and we also automate nutrient paste. With that being said, let's get into today's episode. In between episodes, I have been quite busy with getting stuff together. I killed a bunch of cows, I got a bunch of wheat going, and I also made a bunch of potions of healing, so that way we can go ahead and do some stuff today. Let's go ahead and get our raw beef out really quickly, because I want to take that with some healing potions, right? And we're gonna go ahead and put that inside of this guy, and then hopefully we can go ahead and get this going and get the little flesh dudes so we can get more bits of flesh. Sorry, not bits of flesh, I mean we're gonna need these living fleshes, so that way we can go ahead and make the digester. And I believe there's one more thing that I also have to make with the living flesh, which is going to be the bio lab. So right now we have the bio forge, but we need the bio lab, which is also going to need a living flesh and a few flesh bits and a few other things as well, like exotic dust, which it looks like comes from a few things, which looks like we can get it from glowstone and many other things. But yeah, we need that living flesh quite a bit. Okay, so remember last episode how I was trying to feed this guy flesh bits? Well, it turns out I can feed him normal food and he will get bigger. Like if I feed him, hey, come back here. Okay, you know what I need to do? Let me go take him over here. I also built this new cow pen, but I'm gonna put him in this guy for now, and I'm just gonna try and feed him to make him as big as I can possibly make him. Oh yeah, he's eating. He's becoming a big boy. Okay, so I've got him pretty big. I'm gonna have to kill him because he escaped my little confine, which is not ideal, but I think, yeah, he gave me 7 living flesh bits. That is a lot of living flesh. Oh my god, yes, thank you. Okay, so I need 1 living flesh, please, and thank you. And then we're gonna need a few other things. So we're gonna need flesh bits, which we already have. Perfect. We're gonna need some bone fragments, which I can actually make, but I only have 1. We need 3 of those bad boys, so let's go to make some more of those. So 3 of those bad boys. The elastic fiber is gonna be interesting because I need to do it in the decomposer, which I believe I already have. I do not. Okay, so what does the decomposer require us to make? So decomposer, so this guy here is gonna require more sharp fangs. Ooh, I do not have enough sharp fangs, which means I think I need to kill that panda that I released somewhere, and I don't know where that panda went, to be honest, and I do not see that panda. I think that panda yeeted itself off the edge. Sad. After killing many pandas later, I finally got the sharp fang that I need for this guy, thankfully. Dear god, I do have a lot of pandas left over though. Look at how many pandas we have left over. Look at how cute they are. They're doing backflips and stuff. And then I have this really rare panda over here. He's like a brown colored panda for some reason, and I don't know how like rare that is, but I got a brown panda now. I'm gonna keep him alive and, you know, keep him as a pet. I don't want to kill him. He's so cute. All right, we now have the decomposer, which I believe we can give our nutrient bars to, and it will like basically be the best food. So if I take this, right, and I feed it to this guy, let's take like half of them and put it in there for their food. Perfect. And we need these elastic fibers, and to get them, I think we can put away our meat in here, and then our meat should decompose into hopefully elastic fibers. And we already do have the bile, so we don't really need that. I do think it is a pretty rare chance to get it, right? Unless it doesn't come from cow meat, which it doesn't look like it comes from cow meat, unfortunately. Raw mutton, spider eyes, rabbit, zombie heads, tropical fish. I'm not seeing the beef, unfortunately. So I am going to take that out because I don't want to waste my beef, because I only have... Oh, wait, we can use the alchemy table. Oh, we can't. We need a diamond. Okay, so what is the best way? It's supposed to say I do get it. Oh, no, I only get flesh bits from that. Okay, fair enough. So elastic fibers. Oh, wait, no, I can do it from bioglands. Okay, I didn't see that, I guess. So if I take my bioglands, I've got plenty enough of them to spare. I've got 14. So hopefully I can make enough here. So if I take this and do that, how many of those elastics do I get for my biogland? I get between 1 and 3, which is pretty good. and it takes 10 seconds. Okay, so there we go. Perfect. Ooh, I only got 1 there. So let's do 4 and then see what happens. Now I do get a bunch of bio glands for killing pandas and stuff. So if I do have to kill more pandas, I will. I don't really want to, but yeah, I guess just that's the way of the mod, right? And we're getting this bio stuff as well, which is going to be really helpful because we need 4 of that. So I think we have plenty enough of that now, and we're just waiting for the elastic fibers to come in. Alrighty, I think I have everything that we need for the digester. So if I look at the digester and we put all that in there, perfect. Now I am gonna need some more of that nutrient stuff, those nutrient bars. I'm gonna put in, let's say, like, I don't know, like 8 or something, right? That should be good enough to shove in there for now. So there we go. We're gonna shove that in there, and then that hopefully should start to digest that into that. Oh no, I have to put this stuff in there. So this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. Wait, what? Am I confused here? Oh, it's now requiring this guy. I'm confused. Oh, there we go. Perfect. All right, perfect. Now that we have the digester, we can pretty much automate this using some sort of food bits and whatnot. So if I look at the digester, what can I put into the digester that's going to allow me to sort of cook things? Oh, I could put bamboo in there, but we want something that's going to give us a lot of nutrient paste, right? So I'm thinking melons are probably going to be our best bet here. So if I do that, I could probably get like a hopping bonsai or something and automate it that way. Okay, so to automate the digester, we're gonna need a hopper, of course, and unfortunately, because we don't have compacting drawers yet, we are gonna need to use an oak drawer and then some item pipes. We are gonna need a hopper botany pot. So hopper botany pots are relatively easy to make. We're just gonna need some terracotta and some clay pots, which we're just gonna need to take some of our clay really quickly and smelt it up. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of clay. I can do it with the washing of sand, which thankfully in between episodes, I did do a little bit of crushing of gravel. So we do have some sand that we can go ahead and wash. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and make the botany pot. There we go. And I think I'm gonna have to I think I put the hopper in it like this. Yeah, perfect. Hopper botany pot. Now that we have that, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our hopper like so, and we're gonna go ahead and put this on top. I might want to put a drawer there actually. You know what? Yeah, let's put a drawer there instead. So let me get another drawer, and then once we do that, I think we should be good to go. It is only going to give us the nutrient paste, but we could also just craft it, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put down the drawer. I guess I want the thing to be exported from the front. So what I'll do is I'll put the drawer here, and then I guess what I could do is I could put the melon drawer in the back here like this, and then put the hopper on top with the hopper botany pot like so. And then we're just gonna need a piece of dirt, and then we're also just gonna need to go ahead and get some melon seeds, which I believe I can just take a melon and craft it down like so. And then that should give me everything that we need to go ahead and put inside of this botany pot like so. And then that's going to go ahead and start growing the melons. And then that's going to get put into here like so. And then what we have to do is we need to go ahead and item pipe into here. And you know what? I'm actually a bit concerned that it might also drop the seeds, which we might need to put a 2x2 drawer here for that. But we'll see if that ever becomes the case. But I don't think it will be the case. So if I do this and tell it to extract, it should extract into here, and then it should do its job. And then what I'm going to do actually is this needs a bit of food. So we're going to give it some food to go ahead and digest what we need it to digest. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have it basically do a round loop essentially, right? So what it's going to do is we're going to come underneath here and here. I need to make a water source of some kind, but for now I'll just do this. And then what it's going to do is this. So you're going to do this, You're gonna extract and put it into the drawer first, and then you're gonna extract out of the drawer back into the decomposer or back into the digester like so. And then it's gonna do a round circle until this is full of nutrient. Whenever this is full, this will start to fill up with nutrient paste, which then we can go ahead and take and make into our bars. So I just did confirm it. We are getting seeds, and that means I am gonna need a 2x2 drawer. And you know what I totally forgot to do? Actually, hold on, let me grab that melon before it gets eaten. So I need to get a 2x2 drawer here. So over here, let's get a 2x2 drawer. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna lock the drawer, right? So that way the items just don't get lost or whatever. So yeah, oh my god, we are out of wood, which is not ideal. I don't think I'm gonna have enough to make a 2x2 drawer. That is not ideal. Okay, so our next goal is to make some diamonds. Now to do that, we're gonna use some redstone and some lapis, and I'm gonna go ahead and decompose those guys into the things that we need, which is going to be the gem fragments, the bioluminescent goo, and the exotic dust we can get from lapis. And I believe lapis also gives us the gem fragments, and then redstone on the other hand will give us the other thing that we need. I forget which one it is. It is, I believe, the bioluminescence comes from redstone. It comes in one piece essentially, and to make diamonds we are gonna need those things in the, I believe, bioforge potentially. Where is that in the JEI? I am not seeing it. In the mixer, it's gonna need exotic compound, 3 of each one of these, and then exotic compound is biolab recipe with these things. So yeah, we have a lot of digesting to do. I think it's time that we make a change to the way that this is storing items over here, because yeah, we're wasting a lot of resources right now. I think we're just voiding them, and I would just rather not void them right now. So I think what I'm gonna do is I need to check how many items I get from this. I think it's quite a bit, right? So if we look at gravel, right, and it is in the sifter here, so we get at least 8 different items here. So we're gonna need 8 different drawers. That's fine. I think we can handle that. That shouldn't be too bad. Alrighty, I know this looks super jank, but it's gonna have to do for now, honestly. You know what's gonna really stink though? I think I'm gonna need to figure a way to get like void upgrades on this. I don't know how I'm gonna do that. I think I could also potentially make pipe upgrades. That's totally a thing that we can do, I think, or we have access to, right? So if I look at the basic pipe upgrade, it's just redstone, and then the next tier is just golden redstone. But I think the tier 3, the advanced one, needs blocks of redstone but also needs diamonds. But honestly, this is pretty fast enough, I feel. Hopefully, oh yeah, that's definitely fast enough to hopefully keep up with this. Now we don't have void upgrade yet because void upgrades require obsidian, which requires lava. I don't think I can make obsidian essence quite yet. Yep, we need to get into the next chapter before we can do that. An obsidian alchemy tablet or table is not doable, at least yet. So yeah, we need to wait a little bit until we get some diamonds. But yeah, this is just chopping away right now. Okay, now that we have all of that stuff, I believe we go into our bio lab, which we do not have. We haven't crafted that just yet. That is the one thing that we need now, which is the bio lab, which is going to require us to make a living flesh. Oh god, here we go again with the living stuff again. So we're gonna need this guy. Let's do that instead. I like REI for that. So we're gonna need living flesh, which we already have. So living flesh plus the flesh bits, which we have plenty of flesh bits. Look at how much flesh bits we still have. And then we need 8 bone fragments, which I don't have enough nether quartz, which that's gonna require me to wash down some gold. Okay, there is our 8 bone fragments like so. Let's put these all in order. Now to make the tough fibers, I've already looked at it while I was waiting for the nether quartz to cook. We are gonna need to take this guy and we're gonna have to decompose it again. We're gonna have to decompose some sharp claws. That should give us the tough fibers, and we already have the exotic material. This should give us between 4 and 6 of these tough fibers, which is good. Hopefully we get lucky and get like 6 on our first go, but I doubt we're gonna get that lucky, right? Hopefully we get at least 4, which we will. There we go, we got 5. That's pretty good. And we're gonna get these mineral fragments, which I think we already have gotten from redstone, but that's fine. And then come over here, and we are trying to make the bio lab. Okay, so bio dash lab. There we go. Go ahead and click that, and boom, craft that bad boy. And then let's go ahead and put that guy down right behind the bioforge like so. And so the next thing that we're gonna need to make is the exotic compound, which we need to go ahead and make the next thing that we need, which is diamonds, right? So we're gonna need exotic dust times 2 plus a mineral fragment. So 2 of these plus a mineral fragment should make a diamond, and of course it needs nutrients, which we're gonna go ahead and grab from our thing over here, which is why I wanted to automate that right away, by the way. And now we should be able to go ahead and make the thing. We have the nutrients in it, so why are you not making exotic compounds? I'm a bit confused on how this works then. Oh, I understand how this works now. I'm silly. Okay, so we need the organic, right? We need the glass vial. Okay, so we need nutrient and bio. Nutrients come from nutrient paste, right? So if I grab this and then do this, we get the nutrients, perfect. And then the nutrients come from that. Okay, so we need the glass vial. That's simple enough. And then the organic serum is gonna be bile plus this. So if I come over here, oh wait, let me just take all of that just in case if I need more than one. So I come over here and we need the organic one. So it's gonna be 1 to 1. So if I come back over here, so 1 vial plus the 1 bile plus 1 nutrient, that should give me what I'm looking for, which is gonna be the organic compound plus 2 exotic material plus the mineral fragment should give me what I'm looking for. Is that not correct? It should in theory be correct, unless if it is looking for this. Aha, so it does depend on how the recipe is put in here. There we go. So it goes exotic compound. Now that we have the exotic compound, we should in theory be able to put this in the mixer with the gem fragments and all that fun stuff. So if I come over here, and I assume I'm gonna need a few things here. So if I look at you and then you, and we put you in the mixer to make 10 diamonds. All right, here we go. So we need 3 gem fragments, 3 bioluminescence, so 3 gem fragments, and then 3 bioluminescence goo plus, I believe, what was that last bit there? It was 2 exotic dust like so in the mixer with no thing. And then we're gonna need this exotic compound as well. That's gonna mix up with no heat, and then that's gonna give us 10 diamonds. Hey, give that back. There we go. Perfect. I should also disable the output there, and perfect. Now we have our diamonds, which I believe that is the end of this quest line for the most part. Now we do got to go this way. Now unfortunately it didn't unlock the thing, so I do have to make more of this, which is not really a problem. They're actually relatively cheap. So one of those plus one of these plus a glass vial, that should give me the organic compound that we need. So let me put that in my inventory so that way I can get the quest. Perfect. Exotic. Perfect. I need to make the exotic compound again, which is going to be relatively simple. So if I do this and then I do one of these or 2 of these plus one of these, it doesn't matter what order you put them in, but it does matter at the same time. And then the exotic compound, and then there is our diamonds. Beautiful. The last bits that we have to do in this quest book or this quest line are these things here, like the raw hopper and all that fun stuff. But I think we can pretty much skip this for now and come back to that later. Now we do want 48 nutrient bars, which that's actually quite expensive, but these nutrient bars are really good. And also melons give you a ton of nutrient paste, so I don't think this is going to be too much of a problem for us. So nutrient bars, and then boom, we have 31, and I can even go as far as, if I wanted to, go ahead and yoink those, but I'm not going to. It's not really, you know, too important right now. But however, we do have the next quest unlocked, which is going to be interesting. So we get candy. Awesome. The dagger of sacrifice is a quest. More importantly, we're gonna start getting into project D, which is going to be pretty good, right? I am really excited to get into Project D actually, which is going to be fun. Oh my god, that didn't do the thing, so I gotta like click it, and yeah, it seems like everything is pretty default though. Let's go ahead and get the low covalence dust, which is going to require some charcoal. I made a bunch of wood essence, and yeah, so we can take that and put that in here now. I guess I can put the coal back in there because that doesn't really matter too much, right? I can just grab like a stack of that and call it a day, and then boom, let that cook up. And then I guess while we're waiting, we can cook some of the other ones up, like the medium and the high covalence dust, which is interesting. And how are we gonna get the alchemy table? That's gonna be an interesting one. So I gotta make amethyst essence, which is gonna require high covalence dust in a thing. So a pink energy collector is gonna require this amethyst bronze ingot, which is gonna require, I want to say, some sort of way. I assume I gotta get it through the essence, right? Which means I'm gonna have to automate this whole process. Oh wait, I can do bronze amethyst in the biolab, or bronze essence rather. That's interesting. So I can get bronze essence relatively cheaply, I believe. Oh no, that might have been brass. Never mind. So what I'm gonna do, well, I can't really do that, right? I guess I could, because it's only high covalence dust and it's not terrible, right? It's only like 500 LP per thing, so that should be fine, I think. With my charcoal being done, I should be able to go ahead and make the low covalence dust, which is going to be perfect. So low covalence dust is done. Let me put that in my inventory. I also have the amethyst essence, which is nice. I get 20 amethyst shards for that, which is good. So here's the question. To unlock this, I need all of these medium, high, and pink energy collector MK5, which I don't have unlocked for some reason, is depending on the lava crystal. Lava crystal is this recipe, which is actually relatively simple. So we're just gonna make more of these blitz powder, which is just water, blank runes, lapis, and nether quartz. And it does look like we need a lot of nether quartz, which I don't have too much of, but I can go ahead and make the rose quartz that I need, and then the sandpaper. So sandpaper is gonna require some sand plus paper. You know what? I can probably use, never mind. I was gonna say I can use something else, but I can't. But there we go. Make some of that, then make some sugar with some paper. There we go. There's our sandpaper, and then hold our sandpaper in our offhand with our rose quartz in our main hand, and right click, and then that's gonna get us what we need. And then this is gonna get turned into a few things, but before I do that, let's actually make this. So I need lapis and then nether quartz. I need at least 3. Come over here and grab 3 lapis, and I forget what the other material is. Nether quartz, which we gotta grab, and then blank slate we do not have any more of. We have blank runes, but we don't have blank slates, so I'm gonna have to make more of those. So I just discovered something interesting. I can't make this amethyst essence, the amethyst bronze, because I require the essence, right? And the essence requires a biolab with bronze essence or bronze and amethyst essence, which bronze essence requires tin and copper, and both of these recipes end up with you having to make the tin essence, which requires the next chapter, which is interesting. And I don't think we can actually craft the seeds in this case. Yeah, we can't craft the seeds, unfortunately, which is, yeah, we can't even do this. Even if we wanted to, I don't think we could. Unfortunately, guys, that is going to be a problem for next time. With that being said, if you guys did enjoy today's episode of Project Sacrifice, please do me a huge favor. Smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, ding dong that notification bell, become a part of the Council of Elders. As always, guys, I love you. I'm gonna leave you till next time. Bye bye.